There are exactly 4 stages to every successful sale, but 95% of business owners skip the most important one, the pre-sale. And it's costing them everything. You see, most people think selling starts when you actually get on the call with a prospect. Dead wrong. By the time someone's on a call with you, the sale should already be 80% done. And if you're not doing this correctly, my friends, you're leaving millions on the table. Now, I learned this the hard way. July 2009, I was fired from my psychiatric nursing job. Fast forward to today, I've generated over 22 million using this exact 4-pillar system. And in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to break down every single pillar so you can start using it immediately. Now, look, let me paint a picture for you. It's July 2009. I'm sitting in Caroline Sweeney's office. She's the hospital administrator. She's got blonde bobbed hair. She's got these glasses that when she looked down at you, she made you feel about this big. She says, "Jason, you're doing awfully well here, but we're going to have to let you go." Now look, let's be honest. If I was a patient at a psychiatric hospital, letting me go would have been a bloody good thing. But for those of you who don't know, I was a psychiatric nurse and I got fired. And here's the thing, I was the youngest ward manager in the UK at 27 years old. I made my employer £6.5 million in 2 years selling beds to the NHS. But when the economy crashed, they thought it was cheaper to let me go than to keep me on. And in that moment, it taught me something crucial, that nothing in life is secure unless you secure it yourself. And the only way to secure yourself is to master the art of selling, whether that's selling your services, your products, or even selling yourself to keep your job. You've got to master sales. So after getting fired, I had the choice. Go and get another job and put my life in the hands of someone else again, or figure out how to sell my way to freedom. And you guessed it, I chose freedom. Now, through trial and error and a lot of studying from human psychology and from my nursing background, I developed a system, the 4-pillar system that I'm going to share with you right now. This isn't theory. This is the exact framework that took me from fired nurse to financially free at the age of 31 and a millionaire just 2 years later. And here's what most people get wrong. They think selling's about the conversation that they're having with the prospect, for example, but that's only pillar 2. There's 3 other pillars that are really important, and they're actually more important than the conversation itself. So let me break down all 4 pillars for you right now. Get ready. Pillar number 1 is the pre-sale. And this is where 95% of people fail before they even start. The pre-sale isn't even about the prospect. It's about you. First, your mindset. If you go into a sales conversation thinking, I don't want to be pushy, I don't want to be sleazy, guess what's going to happen? Your unconscious mind will sabotage you. You'll look for any sign that you're being pushy, and you'll back off the minute when you see it instead of closing the client. Like, here's the mindset shift that changed everything for me. Don't sell to people, help them to buy. There's a massive difference. When you help someone to buy, you're helping them make an informed choice, just like I did as a nurse helping patients choose their treatment. Now, second, you've got to know your avatar. Stop trying to sell to anyone who's got a pulse and a checkbook. I see business owners jumping on calls with people who can't afford their services or don't even need their services or aren't even ready to buy. And that's not sales, that's hope. Look, the third thing you've got to do now is qualification criteria. Before anyone gets on a call with you, they have to have some specific criteria that needs to be met. Look, can they afford to invest? Do they have the authority to make a decision? Are they committed to change? And if they don't meet any of the criteria, don't get on a call. And here's a pro tip. If someone books a call and doesn't confirm after 3 reminders, look, I just cancel on them. I send them a message saying something like, hey, I've noticed you haven't confirmed X. If this isn't a priority anymore, no problem. I'll give you a slot to someone else. Okay, you got to get good with that stuff. Now, 2 things happen. Either they come back immediately and say, hey, no, sorry, I didn't respond. I'm going to jump on the call. Or I get my hour back. Either way, I win. So stop waiting for people who don't respect your time. You've got to respect your time, right? Now, pillar number 2 is the actual sales conversation. But here's what most people don't understand. Selling and closing are 2 completely different things. Selling is identifying problems and positioning solutions. Closing is taking the money. The sale starts with that one simple question. What brought you here today? And then you shut up and you listen. You're listening for problems, pain points, frustrations. But here's where rookies mess up. They hear a problem and they immediately start pitching solutions. Don't do that. Dig deeper. Ask them, how is that a problem for you? Make them contextualize the problem into their life. For example, if someone says to you, I'm struggling with sales, don't assume why that's a problem. Ask them. They might say it's affecting my cash flow. I can't pay my team. I'm stressed. I'm not sleeping. My wife thinks I should get a job. Now you're on to something. You're not just solving a sales problem, you're solving a life problem. And people will pay a hell of a lot more for a life problem to be solved than a business problem. And then you link your solution to specific problems that they're going through. Don't give them everything that you do. That will just confuse someone. That's overwhelming. Take their biggest problem and link it to the specific part of your solution that solves it. And here's the advanced technique. Handle objections during your presentation, not at the end. You already know what people are going to say. I don't have time. I don't have money. I need to think about it. Look, address these concerns while you're presenting your solution rather than waiting until the end. Now, pillar 3 is the close, the holy grail. And this is where most people's palms get sweaty. But if you've done pillars 1 and 2 correctly, the close should feel natural. First, understand what you're closing them into. It's not always money. Sometimes it's the next logical step. Another meeting, a proposal review, a trial period. Just know what the next logical step is going to be before you ask for it. Number 2, change how you think about objections. Objection isn't a rejection, it's a concern. If you were head of customer services and a client had a concern, what would you do? You'd resolve it, right? Same thing here. When someone says, I need to think about it, they're not rejecting you. They're saying, I have a concern that I haven't shared yet. And your job, my friend, is to find out what that concern is. Here's my favorite response. Right? When someone says, I need to think about it, I'd simply say, I get it. I understand. If I were you, I'd want to think about it too. And whenever I go away to think about stuff, questions pop up. And the person I need to speak to isn't there with me anymore. So what can we think about together right now? You see, what you have to understand is most people don't buy because of fear, indecision, or money. You need to find out which one it is before you go for the close. Right? Now, pillar 4. This is where people completely drop the ball. Look, they take the money and then they disappear. Big mistake. When someone invests in themselves, especially a significant amount of money, they often feel buyer's remorse. They think, oh, maybe I should have kept that money for my kids. I shouldn't have done that, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Save it for a holiday. Look, your job is to congratulate them immediately. So as soon as someone's bought, you've closed them, congratulate them. Well done. Congratulations. You've made one of the best decisions ever. Your future self will thank you for this, okay? Can you do something tonight to celebrate Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, okay? Get them to celebrate and then walk them through exactly what happens next, step by step. People hate uncertainty. Tell them when they'll get their login details. What's that first module? What does it cover? When your team's gonna call them. This isn't just good customer service, it's good business. Happy clients become repeat clients and referral sources. The post-sale is where you turn a transaction into a relationship. So there you have it, my friends, my 4-pillar sales system that took me from fired nurse to millionaire. Pre-sale, sale, close, post-sale. Master these 4 pillars and you'll never struggle with sales again. But here's the thing, knowing the system and implementing it are 2 different things. You need specific scripts, you need objection handlers, you need the psychological techniques that makes this work in the real world. And that's exactly what I teach in my Closing Incubator program. It's a 12-week intensive where I personally take you through every aspect of the system with live coaching, role play sessions, and real world implementation. Look, I've used this system personally to generate over 22 million in sales myself, and my clients have generated over 200 million using these exact same methods. And I want to teach it to you. So if you're serious about mastering sales, comment sales below and I'll send you a complete breakdown of my 4-pillar system, plus some bonus handling scripts, objection handling scripts for you that you can use immediately. And if you want to work with me directly and you want the complete system with live coaching and support, then we can have a conversation after that. But for now, comment down below and I'll send that to you, because look, at the end of the day, nothing in life is secure unless you secure it yourself. So comment sales down below and let's secure your future together.